Mm. Pam. Hi Pam, can you hear us?
Hey, I can hear you.
Right. And Tim, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. You sound great with your fancy microphone. Yeah. Pam, it looks like you might have, I don't know if you purposely emailed us or maybe accidentally emailed us. Was there something you wanted
Who, me?
Yeah, it looks like you
It's because I looked up the old email that I had put in my trash and I couldn't log in. So when I forwarded it to myself, I could log in.
I gotcha.
No
Okay.
problem.
All right. All right, so it is 7 o'clock, so we can call the meeting to order. Roll call and seating of alternates. Christina Davis, I'm present. Judy Austin. Present. Keith Lipker.
Present.
Pam Summers.
Present.
Paul Varga, not present. Angie DeSanto, not present. And then alternates, Tim Rhodes.
Present.
And Holland Love and Hugh McKenzie are not present. And Tim, I will seat you for Angie. Okay.
Okay.
So you get to vote. All right, communications. I did get a number of communications. So first update, and this is potential, well, it's on the agenda, but we don't really have much to say. This agenda got kind of messed up because it was for previous and then we had to move it, but anyway. So I heard from the Board of Education, they are engaged in negotiations with teachers for a new contract. I had sent an email out earlier in the week if anyone from the Board of Finance wanted to observe the negotiations that were happening yesterday. That was made available. I didn't hear from anybody. I don't think that's a problem. We don't really have to be there, but I did make that available. I did hear from the board chair last night that they did not come to an agreement, which means the contract goes to mediation. And that will be, let me just look up the date she told me. Mediation meeting is next Thursday night, October 4th. So we'll see where that goes. Apparently, they have not gone to mediation in at least 8 years. So this is a first in a long while, but it's not terribly uncommon.
Now this is for the teachers' contract?
Correct. Yep. So we will see, hopefully that gets resolved next week.
Is it, did you have any idea of how far apart they are?
I don't know. I'm not sure if they can even disclose that. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I know you obviously might get an idea if you were there, but I don't know that they can say publicly where they are. I don't know the sticking point, sometimes there's a particular thing. Is it one thing? Is it many? I don't know. Okay, other communications. I heard from Sherry Susie, our treasurer. The year-end transfers are not going to be ready for this meeting. They will be ready for our next meeting. I also asked her, but did not hear back on whether she will be ready to present the closeouts of the capital projects. Remember last year, she goes through the projects and the ones that are done, if they are under budget or over budget, we can basically kind of take that money and just sort of reallocate it back to the CNR fund if a project is done. So we need to do that once a year. So I haven't heard back on when that'll be ready, but hopefully soon-ish. Something, Keith, that you were talking about, I did hear from Mike D'Amato about the zoning board of appeals meeting that he's trying to schedule. He's looking at October 23rd, which would be in conflict with our meeting. So
That's October 30th.
oh, did he? Okay.
Well, it had to do with the availability also of the town attorney.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, he said he's waiting to confirm as 10:30 may work better. Okay, either way, if it does end up being 10:23 and we need to have a meeting, I said we could do it virtual. Just on Zoom, so that you guys could have the room, but then that would be a problem for you, you can't be in two places at the same time, right?
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess.
Well, yeah, but he.
You think it's gonna be the 30th?
The 30th, that's what I'm trying to confirm with the board members.
Okay. I think that's it. Oh, just, yeah, I guess the other thing is just to be aware that the town emails did change as of Monday. Everybody's supposed to be on an ashfordct.gov domain for their email. If you use the old email, it should automatically forward. But if you get bounce backs from anybody in the town hall, you might want to follow up, or if you don't hear from people at the town hall, you might want to follow up with a phone call. Because it sounds like there are some issues with that.
Also, it's the first initial, last name.
Oh, okay, well, that doesn't, yeah, for the Board of Finance, our email is just BOF Ashford at Ashford.
Because I guess the way that for the others is by a federal regulation that they have to do it that way. They have to have their name.
Okay,
And so, but they didn't, the notice, they didn't tell you what that looked like, and I found out for Mike, it's first initial, last name.
Yeah, that's what we have work.
all right, next up, we have approval of minutes. So the first one we have is June 26th. We're a little behind because we haven't had the people that we need to approve the minutes here. So let's see, this meeting was myself, Keith, Pam, Judy. Perfect, we can vote on this one. So this is June 26th. Would somebody like to make a motion that we approve these minutes? Keith made the motion, could someone second?
I'll second.
Oh, I think
Oops.
Judy seconded it.
That's
We'll give
okay.
Judy a minute. All right, any edits for these minutes? This was a long time ago. All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, so one abstention because Tim wasn't present. All right, next one is July 24th. Let's see. Who was at this one? Oh, wait a minute, that's not the minutes, that's the agenda. Hold on.
I have the notes, if anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure they're online. Let's see, July 24th. Okay, for July 24th, there was me, Keith, Pam, Tim, Paul not here. So Judy, you weren't at this meeting, but I think we have enough people because Tim is here to vote on this, okay? So would anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes of July 24th? Keith made the
I'll
motion,
second.
Pam seconded. Are there any edits for these minutes? Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 Aye. And any opposed? And any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, Judy abstained because she wasn't present. All right, glad we finally got those approved. All right, next up, public comment. Would anybody like to make a public comment? Okay, moving on. First bullet is select women's agenda. I did email that. Let me just take a look at it real quick. Okay, it looks like we applied along with Willington for a brownfields grant, which is the bar grant. This was approved as part of the capital budget, but they're actually going through with the application now. So then we'll hear whether we get the funding, which would help us clean up the property on Route 44 known as Cattle Rock / Wagon Shed. The Ashford School Roof Solar Project, RFP and paid purchase agreement are ready to be put out to bid. The Public Works Facility repaving project, which again was part of the capital budget. So I guess the repaving is in progress. I haven't been down there.
They've been, times I've been down there, they were still in preparation, you know, doing the leveling and whatever you gotta do before you pave.
And this says locations and revised date. Oh wait, the transfer station will be closed Wednesdays through October 1st. So that's good to know. And then, yeah, the revised dates for picking up new transfer station stickers are Saturday, October 11th, and the selectmen's office on Monday, October 13th.
Okay, because the last I knew was, it's gonna start October 4th.
We're gonna be getting 2 free solar powered speed signs for installation in town from the Yukon Technical Assistance Center, the T2 Center. So I guess look for that. The Parks and Rec Department has rolled out rec desk software so that people can sign up online for programs, which is great. Okay, apparently there's a plan for town Zoom accounts and that's being finalized. And hybrid meeting upgrades. That's in process for this space. So that'll be great when that gets done. Okay, and you can read the details in your email. And they'll be and this will be in the minutes as well. Okay, discussion of the next item on the agenda is discussion of a public feedback session on budget priorities this fall. So, after we finished the budget this summer, I had, come to this board and then the Board of Selectmen to talk about the idea of forming some sort of committee to talk about budget priorities and what kind of new solutions we can find for cost savings across the town and the school. The Board of Selectmen said they weren't sure on the legality of that, and we're consulting the town attorney on it. And with that, it was suggested, well, why don't we just have a public hearing or public listening session or extended public comment to get feedback from the public. We had talked about doing that in September, but then with vacations and trying to get that in the Citizen, that timing didn't work out. So I still would like to plan something, but I also think we're at a point now with elections being in November and the potential for new members on this board, it doesn't really make sense to do anything before the election, because then it wouldn't really be fair to the new members that are coming a couple weeks later. So what do folks think about having, and I think, do we just do like, say we want to have a public input session and have it, right before a regular meeting, and we can promote it in the Citizen, we can promote it on the town Facebook page and say, please come down with your questions and ideas to just try to get a little bit more feedback from taxpayers. That way we can get it now or November instead of in March or April, when it's really hard to really make any changes or investigate anything because we're so far into the budget process.
Would there be any parameters? So,
I think that's a great question. I think that would be up to us. I think to me, the only thing would be sort of capping time, sometimes people can go on and on, so do we say like 5 minutes max or something? It depends on the number of people, of course, too. I'm just looking up our meeting schedule. so if we did something after the election. Like we could do Thursday, November 13th. Right? I don't know when the election is.
The 4th.
It's the 4th, okay.
Mhm.
So. And if we planned it for then, we could get it in the Citizen for, let's see, we get it in the Citizen for October and November. And then we could share it on Facebook too. Because I really think that's, a lot of people pay attention to that.
Oh, we couldn't get it in the Citizen for October because we passed the deadline. We could get it for November.
For November, yeah.
Or you'd have to, you could do it, yeah, if you had a special meeting.
No, we could do it before the, well, yeah, we could call it a special meeting, yeah. Do a special meeting and then followed by a regular meeting, kind of thing.
If you wanted to do it in October.
Oh, no, but I'm saying I would recommend that we do it in November after the election.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's just, we're talking about, it's too bad that we missed
yeah.
the deadline for the Citizen. But I don't know, what do folks think about that idea?
I think that sounds like a good idea. Invite the public in. I mean, probably 5 people will come. That'll be about it.
Hey, 5 would be better than 0.
Yeah,
17.
no,
Pick
I
any
know.
number.
So, I mean, it would be brief, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So if we did it before our regular meeting, that'd be great.
Right,
I just have an idea that maybe you'll get more than you expect, because I think there's, people are paying a lot more attention to things.
Mhm.
In my opinion, anyway.
Mhm.
And I think it would be good, it'd also be, another level of transparency
Yeah, it's outreach.
and outreach. And people may have some ideas that are,
right,
wow, why didn't we think of that?
yeah.
You
Well, and that's what sparked this idea, was the fact that someone, when we had our public hearing, I think, or maybe it was just when we were voting on the budget at the end of March. Someone came up to me and said, well, why don't we do X? And it's like, well, I don't know, but we can't do that now. We can't make structural changes at the end of March to a budget that we have to vote on in like 2 weeks. It just doesn't. So if we start now and have conversations and ideas, we can research them and make recommendations, or, try to incorporate them into the budget as we start in that process next year.
Because we also, what comes out of that, for dealing with, the budget items, we may have to involve other boards and commissions and it could work into something, which is more than just us, which is okay, which is good. But at least you got the dialogue going.
Right. And I think I will do some outreach to the different boards and commissions about this, because they should come too, right? The Board of Ed members should come, the Economic Development Commission members should come.
Well, that would be, yeah.
People who are engaged in the process, but maybe, don't have time during the budget cycle to say where they think we could find some savings or new ideas. So it sounds like we have some consensus then on doing, what we can do is a special meeting Thursday, November 13th. And we'll, just be a single agenda item. It'll be, public input on budget priorities. And then a regular meeting to follow. Assuming we have, business to attend to, but I think we will, because we'll have new board members and we'll have to at least get that sort of the new board seated and figure out who's doing what. So November 13th, does that sound like a good date?
Yep.
Before Thanksgiving, before everybody checks out on the holidays. And, okay, so I will work on putting together something for the Citizen and the, email communication to various boards in town and also something to share on the Ashford Facebook page. Okay. I don't know, do we need to vote on this? I suppose we should.
I'll make a motion that we do this as you presented
Okay. A
eloquently.
special meeting for public input
Yeah.
on Thursday, November 13th. Okay, so Keith made the motion. Would somebody be willing to second that?
I'll second.
Oh, Judy beat you. Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, great. Okay. Item C is discussion and possible action regarding the observation of upcoming contract negotiations between the Ashford Board of Education and the Teachers Union. So as I said, this item isn't relevant anymore because now they're headed to mediation, so. Poor timing, given the fact that we couldn't have our last meeting. And then the next item, D, discussion and possible action regarding year-end transfers is going to be tabled and moved to the next meeting. Item E, update on excess education funds for fiscal year that ended June 30th, 2025. So I did want to just let everybody know. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the school every year, and the town, but the school first, closes its books for the fiscal year that in this case ended June 30th. And typically they do have some excess funds, so money that's left over that they didn't spend in their budget. And then so I guess number one, the amount this year that was left over is $14,605.54. Which is 0.17% of their total budget. So that's substantially less than typical. Generally, the schools could take up to 1% of their budget if it's left over and put that in an account that we call the Board of Ed non-lapsing fund. The Board of Finance used to control how much money would go in there, but now due to state law, the Board of Ed controls that process. That's new as of last year. And that used to only be 1%, then it got expanded to 2%. So I believe last year they did get pretty close to 2% left over. But this year significantly less at 0.17%. So just wanted to let everybody
So
know.
that all goes to Board of Ed.
So it'll go in the Board of Ed non-lapsing fund, yes, which they use. Typically, we use the funds there to fund capital projects at the school. So things like the school roof or new windows, I think is on the list of projects.
But those are funded for the town also, right?
Right,
Right.
sometimes it depends on the amount of the project. So, and like the school buses, the town typically funds,
Those are in the.
the
capital
school
project.
doesn't, yeah. But anyway, just wanted to let everybody know what the status of that is. And then we'll get, when we get the audit, which is underway right now. When we get the audit, which should be, it's technically, I think, supposed to be done by early December, but lately we've been getting it in January, February. But that audit will give us the balance of the Board of Ed non-lapsing fund, so that we know and everybody's aware of how much money is in that account. Okay, any questions on that? All right, item F, update on the 23-24 annual report. So I have a draft from the person who's helping me pull it together, a woman in town by the name of Amy Robinson. So the only piece that's left at this point is to do the dedication, which is our next item, discussion and possible action on the dedication for the annual report. So I did put a call in the Citizen asking for nominations or suggestions, and I did not get any. So we have to pick someone or an organization.
I had some ideas.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Pam.
What about either Linda Gagney or Sherry York, who are retiring, or both of them? They've, given back so much to the town, and I think they're worthy.
Mhm. Yeah, I think we would have to do both, right?
Yeah, because they both
But yeah, I hadn't thought
retired.
of that.
I don't think anybody would object.
Seems like a winner.
Mhm.
I had a long list. I kind of compiled a list of organizations in town. But I can save those for next year. I think Linda and Sherry would be great to celebrate.
Great.
What was the number in the fire department celebration? 75 years?
75
Yes.
years.
That
Yeah.
Rich has been that since the beginning of time, so.
Yeah.
It would be 75 years.
Who's been there? What?
Richard Whitehouse.
Yeah.
He's been a
there
member
Since
since,
the beginning, he was the
since the beginning.
chief,
wow,
yeah.
it's amazing.
Actually, he still has a title of something.
Fire
like
marshal.
Fire marshal now,
I think somebody's helping, but his
But-
health is like
yeah, he's
not good.
he's not well, so it would be something that would be.
But you could also combine it that way with the three of them, two retirees. Well, he's practically retired, I mean, and longevity dedicated to the town.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, so he was the chief and what is he, right, he's just a member right now?
He's the fire marshal right now.
He's the fire marshal. I thought
Yeah.
Charlie Sweetland was the fire
Well,
marshal.
he's kind of taken over. I don't know if it's like emeritus,
Oh.
fire marshal emeritus. He's basically wheelchair bound about
Okay.
now. But he's been, yeah, quite a
He's been there,
presence, yeah.
yeah, forever. Forever.
The other thing to consider is the annual report is for 23-24. It's actually like quite a ways up back, So we could maybe save Sherry and Linda for next year's annual report, which would be 24-25, which would actually be the last year that they were in their role, and highlight
True.
Richard Whitehouse for 23-24.
Yeah, he's gonna tell servant like forever, that would be really nice before. Yeah. Something would happen.
Yeah, I mean, every time I go over the White House, I talk to his son Ray. He's been back in the hospital.
He doesn't really appreciate it and to the acknowledgement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rather than voting on it, I'll reach out to Paul and just see
Okay.
what he thinks too, just to make sure that makes sense from his perspective. And assuming that he thinks that's a good idea, why don't we go with Richard Whitehouse for 23-24, and then I'll make a note. And we can highlight Linda and Sherry for 24-25. Which would be the last year that they served in their roles.
Was the annual report ever dedicated to him previously?
I don't believe so. I went through and looked at past ones. The names that we've honored in the past were, and we haven't done a dedication every year. That was the other thing. But the list that I have is Butch Simpson, Carl Falsgraf, Beverly Ferentz, Joan Gobin, Wendy Palmer, Barbara Metzak, Peter Marble, Horace Frederick. And then the organizations that we've highlighted are the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, Ashford Memorial Park, and the Ashford Volunteer Fire Department. And then last year we did the Babcock Band.
Yeah, so all of them, yeah. All those names have been with this town like forever.
Hmm.
You know, my family's been up here for over 100 years, so I recognize them.
Okay, all right, so I will take that guidance and do a little homework, but assuming that all parties are, you know, think that that's appropriate, then we'll go with Richard Whitehouse. And then agenda items for the next meeting. We should have year-end transfers and possibly the closing out capital projects. So our next meeting is October 9th. And then we'll have the special meeting followed by the regular meeting on November 13th. And I don't know if we'll need that meeting on October 23rd, we'll see. And just to remind folks, so with the election, I think there are 2 seats that are up for re-election and 1 alternate. Does that sound right? I think so.
Cause I'm driving. so-
Yeah, your seat is up, Angie's seat is up. And then I think Hugh McKenzie's alternate seat is up. Yeah, so might have new members and we will see on November 13th.
And before we end to going back to the November 13th meeting about maybe people to invite maybe the fire department representative, because that was really a big topic at our public meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, so they might be Paul Paul's a member of the board, so
Right.
somebody else.
Yep, that's true. I can definitely send them an email, and let them know. All right, anything else? Remarks for the good of the board. Thanks everybody for bearing with me over the last couple meetings where we've had technical problems and lack of quorum, so glad we were able to get this meeting done finally. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Judy made the motion. Anybody like to second?
Second.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.